All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2022 Calabasas State of the City Address. Good evening. At this time, I would like to introduce Charlotte Maurer.
Good evening. I'm honored to be here this evening to introduce my dear friend, Mary Sue Maurer, who has served on the City Council for 17 years and completed 4 terms as mayor. This evening, she will be giving her last State of the City address. When I think about my friendship with Mary Sue, I can cite many reasons why our friendship blossomed. Besides respecting her tenacity, her uncompromising integrity, her intelligence, and good judgment, there is one passion we both share. That is our passion and a commitment to supporting education. She has been a trailblazer in this. For instance, did you know that she was the first person to succeed in coaxing the school district to televise their school board meetings? And she coaxed the city of Calabasas to pay all the expenses. Our media department edited the tapes and then distributed them to other cities. Did you know she was the first person appointed to the Calabasas Education Commission by Dennis Washburn? And these meetings were taped too. As a result of her participation and the city's efforts, the school district was supported in new ways that enhanced its stature in the region, and city-school partnerships began in earnest. She was the first person to request that training of school health clerks be more rigorous, and today they are well prepared to address the challenges we never expected they would have to face. She was the first person to host a mock Girl Scout meeting in City Hall and named the district's Girl Scout leader to be Calabasas Citizen of the Year. Today, Girl Scouts don't just earn cookie badges. They can earn a democracy badge. And there is no doubt that visionaries like Mary Sue planted those seeds of change that broke the glass ceiling that limited the potential of young girls to participate in local government. But these are but a few of her achievements in education. But hold on, there's more. I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane and share with you what I think is her crowning achievement in education. We met about 20 years ago in the boardroom of the Las Virgenes Unified School District. I was serving on that board. The first time she came to a meeting to request that her son not be moved to another school because the kindergarten classes were going to be remodeled. Soon thereafter, she came back a second time. But the vote was 4-1 to move the kindergartners to another school for safety reasons. They say it's important to know how to lose. It's important to accept defeat as graciously as if you had won, and she did. Not discouraged, she came back a third time. Upon seeing her enter the boardroom, I was elbowed by my colleague who whispered, "Oh no, she came back again." And I was asked, "What's her name?" And I shrugged my shoulders and said, "I don't know." Well, this what's her name marched in with 4 women who followed her. She acted like she owned the place. This what's her name told us that all the obstacles we faced getting the new proposed middle school to move forward would be solved by them. And then as quickly and as confidently as she marched in, she marched out. Can you guess what happened next? At the next meeting, her 4th meeting, this what's-her-name arrived again with about a dozen women wearing T-shirts that said, "Middle School Now." As they all marched in, I was elbowed once again. "Charlotte," my colleagues whispered, "she's back again." and still I wasn't sure about her name. It didn't matter if I knew her name because Dr. Don Zimring knew her very well. She had been meeting with him too, just to cover all of her bases. He was impressed with her, and she was inspired by him. He saw that potential for leadership. He saw that spark, and it was unleashed. She became a leader of Middle School Now, and her political career took off. Leaders bring people together, and she launched a grassroots movement. It included letters to the Acorn, speaking out at public meetings, creating flyers, and wearing that Middle School Now t-shirt all over town. Middle School Now raised public awareness and helped the school district get A.C. Stell Middle School built. This evening, it's my pleasure to introduce to you a leader who leads by example. What's her name? The unsung hero of A.C. Stell Middle School, my dear friend, Mary Sue Maurer.
That goes back quite a few years. And there are some middle school parents in this audience. Raise your hand if you remember that or you were part of that. There was a lot of us. It was a village. So thank you, Charlotte. That was very nice. And welcome to all of you to the 25th Annual Calabasas Mayor's State of the City Address. This is where a mayor has the opportunity to review some of the key achievements as well as the challenges the city has experienced over the past year. Let's start by bringing out Girl Scout Troop 3216 to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Attention. Please stand for the presentation of the colors. Color Guard, attention. Color Guard, advance. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Color Guard, post the colors. Color Guard, salute the colors. Color Guard, dismissed.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As you can imagine, this year's event is particularly meaningful to me, as this will be my last State of the City address, and I couldn't be prouder of where the city is today and the strong foundation the staff and my colleagues have built together. And it is with deep gratitude that I'd like to recognize my fellow council members. James Bazagian, Peter Kraut, Alicia Weintraub, and Mayor Pro Tem David Shapiro. Thank you for the years of camaraderie and collaboration. We've accomplished much together, and you each have my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you. Also, I want to say thank you to all the city council candidates in this past election. They ran a campaign of civility, focusing on issues to help Calabasas move forward, and become an even better city. This is truly democracy in action. When I first ran for council back in 2005, I ran on a platform of promoting civility in city government. So it was gratifying to see all the candidates follow that ideal. And here with us tonight are candidates Monica Parmar and Ed Albrecht. Monica, you've done great work as a commissioner and staunch advocate for the schools and the environment. Thank you very much. Brian Cameron, who is not here tonight, has long been involved in his HOA as well as emergency preparedness and stepped forward to lead our first Fire Safe Council. Ed, you hold a special place in my heart because you were my pitching coach in preparation for Calabasas night at Dodger Stadium. We worked together to perfect my throw from the official distance of the mound to the plate, 60 feet and 6 inches. Thank goodness for my brother Donnie and his lunging catch of a wild pitch that saved the family name from disgrace. And then, Ed, when our time together ended, you rewarded me with one of your worn, perfect baseball mitts. And I want to say, in front of all these people, whomever wins, I promise I will be here as your coach. I also want to acknowledge our city manager, Kindon Meek. I knew the first time we interviewed you that you would be an exceptional leader for any city and that you would set us steady on course to a future of greatness. And Kindon, can you please stand? Thank you. Kindon has an incredibly talented executive team that is responsible with their staff for the work that you are going to hear about tonight. Let me introduce some of the department heads and other executive team members that are here tonight. From communications, Michael Russo. Community development, Michael Klein. And I will say, when Michael was a young boy, his father Gary took me under his wing when I was first elected and mentored me on land use issues. And now Michael, his son, is running the department. From community services, Erica Green, our chief financial officer, Ron Allers, our city librarian, Barbara Lockwood, public works director, Robert Yalda, and interim emergency manager, Michael Dyer. We have city clerk, Mari Hernandez, and interim administrative services manager, Michael McConville. You and your staffs are the reason we have a standard for exceptional governance. Next, it's time to recognize some of the residents and officials in attendance tonight. They make Calabasas a great place to live, work. My favorite on the list, the wonderful Fran Pavley, former mayor of Agora Hills, former assembly member, former senator, my former boss, my mentor, and an extraordinary leader. From the office of Senator Henry Stern is the newly elected to the Agora Hills City Council, Jeremy Wolf. We have a number of former council members here. It's so exciting. We have Fred Gaines, Marvin Lapata, Dennis Washburn, Michael Harrison, and I haven't seen Jonathan Wolfson yet, but hopefully he'll get here. And it's so nice to have you all here in the room. It's like a homecoming. From the Water District, Linda Low Hill. We have from Senator Sheila Kuehl's office, Tessa Charnowski. And from the Los Angeles County Fire Department, Mike McCormick. And from the Calabasas Chamber of Commerce, we have Lisa Clayton and Mark Levinson. And we have a number of commissioners, city commissioners. Please stand up and be recognized. I was a commissioner before, as you heard, so you better be careful. And would the young adults from the Mayor's Youth Council, those that are present, it's a school night, I know, please stand up. I think we have a few here. Yay! There they are. Woo! All right, they are the future leaders of Calabasas. And my favorite group of people to introduce this evening are my family. And to my right, in the red, of course, is my mother, Norma Maurer. Yay, Norma. And then we'll go around the table. I have my sister, Ellen, and her husband, Dave. Donnie Boom Boom Maurer. I'm my niece, Jennifer, and her parents, my sister, Kathy, and her husband, Howie. My son, Neil, and his girlfriend, Natalie. And I know a lot of you know, and he's your favorite, Derek. And my son Martin couldn't be here. He's out of the country, but he assures me he will watch the replay. When I first entered City Hall 17 years ago, Calabasas was a different place. City Hall and the library weren't here. Neither was the senior center. There was no secondhand smoke ordinance or polystyrene ban. The gun control measures weren't here, and so much more. Yet I'm so proud of all that's happened over the years, and I can't tell you how excited I am about what the future holds for our great city. So let's get started. First off, this State of the City address will be a little different than the traditional recap of the year. And that's because we've embarked on something which we've never done before in the history of the city. Working with the city staff and the community, the council developed our first strategic plan. So what is a strategic plan? It's not a general plan, which guides many long-term planning decisions and is updated every 10 years. But like all strategic plans, it is a process where an organization defines a vision, then identifies priorities to realize the vision, and finally creates multi-year objectives that measures outcomes and holds the city council and staff accountable. Our strategic plan will be revisited and updated every 2 years, starting next year in July with the 2023-2024 fiscal year. A strategic plan is designed to meet the challenges of the future head-on. You didn't think I'd leave after 17 years without making sure the city was on track, did you? Our vision statement for the strategic plan is Calabasas will preserve both its character and natural resources, and will lead in addressing the critical environmental, social, health, safety, and economic issues that impact our community. And really, that's exactly what we've already been doing, but now we have a plan to take us to our future. In this first strategic plan, the City Council formally adopted 5 priorities. They are environmental leadership, fiscal resiliency, public safety and emergency preparedness, recreation, youth, and senior services, and development and infrastructure. Next, we created 12 objectives. Some of these are underway and will sound familiar to you. Let's start with environmental leadership. Our first objective is to acquire property for future parks or open space. I've been on the advisory board of the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy since 2005 and helped preserve thousands of acres of open land. And I can tell you that right now, the Conservancy is actively working to purchase more open space with grant funding from the state. We will hunt our tax default properties down, as well as find property owners willing to sell. The second objective is increasing our drought preparedness, becoming more self-reliant on local water resources. For example, in October alone, we helped the Water District, which serves Calabasas and other nearby cities, save 39% on water use. 39%. That's a big number. We've also planted more drought-tolerant and native vegetation in parkways and center medians throughout the city. In addition, there's many more environmental initiatives we've been working on. The council began planning the process for a climate action and adaptation plan. This is a blueprint for how our city, our residents, and businesses will do our part to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to catastrophic climate change effects. I also sit on the board of the Clean Power Alliance, which provides 100% clean energy, and I'm so proud that Calabasas was the second city to join the CPA. And now, 98% of Calabasas residents are now receiving 100% renewable energy. That means, in this past year alone, Calabasas has reduced its greenhouse gas emissions by 35,000 metric tons. That's the equivalent to taking 7,500 cars off the road or planting 570,000 trees. We have always set the standard for capturing and cleaning the city's water runoff. With the citywide Green Street project, we use state-of-the-art technology and treatments to reduce pollutants running into storm drains that lead to creeks and the ocean. This project will help restore water quality, reduce runoff, increase filtration, and improve air quality. Looking at the fiscal resiliency priority, the objective is to create an economic plan that will attract businesses, fill vacant properties, and promote the advantages of doing business in Calabasas. Calabasas has always been a very business-friendly city with no city business tax and no city business license. We maintain the highest credit rating for a city our size with both Moody's and Standard & Poor's. And we are very proud of the fact that Calabasas is home to some of the top 25 companies in the San Fernando Valley. And we have a great relationship with the Valley Economic Alliance and the Calabasas Chamber of Commerce, and our local businesses are thriving. The Cambria Hotel, the remodeled Audi dealership, and the expanded Hilton Garden Inn are now open for business, as is the Goodnight Inn, which has been fully rebuilt from the damage it sustained during the Woolsey fire. And we've got some great new restaurants in the community, including Barney's Gourmet Hamburgers, Cafecito, Gelson's new tapas and wine bar. Another first for the city this year is the creation of a multi-year capital improvement plan. This allows us to set aside funds for infrastructure updates, such as the Old Town Calabasas renovation, safety measures on Mulholland Highway, and playground and facility improvements. And to improve the capacity of the finance department to manage all of this work, the council approved a $240,000 investment to upgrade the department's aging infrastructure and software. Public safety and emergency preparedness has always been one of my highest priorities. To that end, we've identified 3 objectives. In our first objective, we will conduct a study on where we can safely place cell towers on publicly owned sites to expand and improve coverage. This will help communications, especially during a disaster. For the second objective, we are dedicating ourselves to emergency preparedness training for staff and council, and to overall better prepare our city for emergencies. We are getting more emergency equipment and implementing programs like Zone Haven, an evacuation tool, and a fire safe council. The third objective is to look at contract enhancements with the new sheriff. We will consider ways to realign funding and services to fully address open space break-ins, HOA neighborhood watch coordination, and remediate street racing. At this time, let me take a minute to acknowledge the wonderful work of the Calabasas Rotary Club, who this year raised the funds and did the work to remodel the comfort room at the Lost Hills Sheriff Station. This room is used for the victims of crime to have a safe and quiet place, or for children that need security during an exchange, and for other times when people are in crisis. Let's hear it for the Calabasas Rotary Club. I will say I think that the comfort room, when asked, is my favorite accomplishment in the 17 years I've been on the council. Work on these 3 objectives is already well underway, and we continue to do much more in the area of public safety and emergency preparedness. We recently installed a solar battery backup at the city's repeater site through a grant from the Conservancy. And city staff is finalizing plans to provide upgrades to our emergency broadcast AM 1630 radio station, and I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting ceremony for that. Because the entire city was evacuated in the 2018 Woolsey fire, the need for a mobile emergency operations center became apparent, and through another grant from the Conservancy, we purchased one. Flock system cameras were installed at 5 locations throughout the city to help the sheriff gather important information about robberies and other crimes. Our outstanding communications department produced dozens of videos on everything from COVID and fentanyl awareness PSAs to ways to protect your home from wildfire. And speaking of our talented media crew, they were recently awarded first place in the coveted overall excellence category for small cities by the National Association of Telecommunication Officers and Advisors. In essence, naming Calabasas the top small local government multimedia group in the entire United States. People need to connect with one another now more than ever, and our next priority looks at recreation, youth, and senior services. We have 4 objectives. The first is reopening the Agora Hills Calabasas Community Center. And we expect to start new roof repairs in February with a reopening date anticipated in June. And our ultimate goal is to fully assume the operations and programming of this community jewel. The second objective is conducting a study to upgrade playground equipment, trails, and pathways throughout our city, parks, and open space. There will be ample community outreach to determine social and recreational programming needs for all ages and all abilities. Third, we will complete a full and permanent build-out of Wild Walnut Park to include a children's play area and a dog park. And fourth, we will improve recreational programs for teenagers. We're going to need the Mayor's Youth Council in that area for sure. All the while, we remain busy planning recreational activities for you. In the post-COVID era, community services came roaring back with both great traditional and new events. These include the 4th of July Spectacular, concerts by the lake, the Pumpkin Festival, and so much more. We offered a number of pop-up events for residents of all ages. One positive side effect of COVID is that it brought an influx of interest in pickleball. And my pickleball crew is here. Why the influx? There's a number of reasons. It's played mostly outdoors. People of any age can play, just look. And even non-athletes can find people to play with. Just look. In response to this demand, we recently added 2 more courts, bringing our total to 4 pickleball courts at the Tennis and Swim Center, and are planning more courts at De Anza Park. And we're going to be adding additional tournaments and open sessions and things like that, clinics. Our award-winning senior center opened back up for in-person activities and continues to be the vital hub for the senior community. Our library navigated through COVID by offering appointment pickups. They're reopening study rooms and bringing back free programs, including story times, film and writers clubs, lectures, and author visits. Patrons can now check out free passes to visit the California state parks, and the Zip Books program enables books to be delivered free to patrons from Amazon. Digital library cards are now issued to every student, teacher, and staff member of the Las Virgenes Unified School District, and the library is now fine-free. Our final priority is development and infrastructure. We are building for the future, and we will meet our legal requirements for future affordable housing. In this area, we have 2 objectives. First, we are looking to complete the annexation of Craftsman Corner, the area of land where Parkway Calabasas dead ends, and are actively developing a plan to annex other properties that are within our city's sphere of influence. Second, we are looking to continue to provide options that will relieve traffic congestion. We're working on a number of projects to meet that objective. The work in Old Town is complete. It encompasses new sidewalks and streetlights, new crosswalks with in-pavement flashing lights, and landscaping upgrades, including new trees that will provide shade for decades to come. We also installed uninterrupted power supply systems so that traffic signals will continue to function in the event of power outages. There's been a lot of activity around Mulholland Highway. We've added bicycle and pedestrian safety improvements. We've connected Wild Walnut Park and Calabasas High School with a sidewalk, improved the parking lot at the park, and installed a traffic signal at the intersection of Old Topanga. As you can see, we have been working really hard on the strategic plan and a lot of other projects, and implementing the objectives to meet this round's priorities. Now comes my favorite part of this evening, when I have the opportunity to recognize the 2022 Resident of the Year. This year's honoree is an extraordinary individual. They operate a successful Calabasas business. They sit on a city commission where they are a subject matter expert and provide invaluable input. They are an active parent and very engaged with the schools and education issues. And recently, they stepped up on a global stage to bring attention to human rights atrocities. Their work and that of thousands like her worldwide created awareness at the World Cup. Please join me in recognizing the 2022 Resident of the Year, Dr. Negan Ghaffari. Negan has served on the Historic Commission for the City of Calabasas. She is currently serving on the Parks and Rec Commission. She owns the Montessori Preschool and is the headmistress. She has a doctorate in education, and I hope she will speak for just a minute and tell you where she spent her time today. But for now, it's my privilege to recognize you in everything you do, both in the city and throughout the world, especially in your original homeland of Iran. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mary Sue. This is an incredible honor. I'm truly humbled and shocked. Between kindergarten and fifth grade, I went to 5 different schools. My husband and I, we're both immigrants. Our families left Iran after the revolution, and we're, I guess you could say refugees. Our parents got political asylum in this country. They hope to raise their children in a country that their children would have a voice, that we would have equal rights and make a new home for us all. And I couldn't be more grateful for my parents and my husband's parents for creating that. When Kevin and I decided to move to Calabasas, the one thing I remember saying to him was, I want our kids to grow up in one community, from kindergarten to graduating from high school in the same schools. And it's something that we didn't have, and grow up in a community that they would meet people that they would grow up with and support them and mentor them. And that is what Calabasas is to us. It's a home. It's where we feel seen and heard, and the support that the city has given our community. Iranians in diaspora are an educated community. They are engaged and want to be a part of a democratic society. And we're fighting for that, as many of you might have seen some of the coverage in Iran, and we're supporting the people who are fighting for it in Iran. Mary Sue mentioned where Kevin and I were today. We were incredibly honored to be invited to be part of a roundtable with the Crown Prince of Iran, the Shah's son, Reza Pahlavi, to discuss the future of Iran and what are the possibilities and what we can do to support. I want to thank you all for making this our home and inviting us into this community, and we're honored, both of us, to be here, and I'm honored to serve in this community, and honored to raise my kids here. Our younger one is a 6th grader at SEL, and our older son, Cameron, is a junior at Calabasas High School. So the promise that we made to them, we're making come true. So thank you. Thank you, Mary Sue.
Gosh, you're amazing. I think you can agree that Negan represents so many important aspects of our country and our culture right now. And we're reminded by people like her that we can never take for granted our own form of American democracy. And it is that reason that you were handed a pocket version of the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights to take home. Many are surprised to see that such profound and beautiful language about such a complex subject is so simple and can fit into just a handful of pages. But the theme of our founding documents is to secure our freedoms and to protect our rights. Nothing is more important to me at this moment in my life than this. My 17 years of service have been incredible, and I thank all of you for your support and best wishes. It has been my privilege to play a small role in our democratic system. Thank you very much.
Okay, now the informal part starts, the fun part, the Mary Sue Maurer roast. We'll start with our founding mayor, Dennis Washburn.
Dennis appointed me to the Education Commission and can be blamed for what happened next.
It's a lot more than that, because Mary Sue had been a hardworking, very community-involved person long before I thought about appointing you to a commission. And I was actually very proud to twist your arm to run for city council in the first place. So the reason I wanted to be able to speak to this evening is that I missed your face on the newspaper. This is the candidates that ran for city council, and you've been a fixture in our community for so long. But the history of our community is one of the things that I wanted to salute you with tonight. And I brought a copy. You may already have these. This is Calabasas Girls, and you're one of them. written by Catherine Mulholland, the granddaughter of William F. Mulholland, who did an awful lot for the city and growth of Los Angeles, and also Calabasas Lives. Both of these books are in the library, so I would say if you haven't got, a perspective on all the hardworking people who have been here for 150 years, you do, because you've been one of us, and it's been fantastic. But inside I've inscribed, and I'm hoping now that you're going to have time to read the books that you probably stashed like I did on the shelf. And I've dedicated this one here by saying, I want you to dive into the history and delve into the future. And it's Carol and I signing this book. And the other, Calabasas Lives, is, first off, Calabasas Girl is about the women pioneers of this community. And you are one. And Calabasas Lives is largely about the men pioneers, but really it's about all the folks who finally joined in and recognized that this is a special place. And this one is also strive for the truth and drive the ideas home, which you do. So thank you and congratulations. And those are for you. I hope you have time to read them.
Next, we have Jeremy Wolf from State Senator Henry Stern's office and now council member-elect from Agoura Hills.
I know, of course. So hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy Wolf. I'm District Director for State Senator Henry Stern, and he couldn't be here tonight. But Mayor Mary Sue Maurer, you are a legend. You've been around since the senator first started, and we have a special relationship, our office, with you because Neil was, I can't say this, but I will, my favorite intern in our office. Sorry, Micah, we have another intern here. But Mary Sue Maurer, what she has done for this community, I can't understate. She is a champion for our environment, our mountains. I sat on the Conservancy with you all these years, and I don't think we can thank you enough for the work you've done to preserve and protect our open space, our mountains, so that future generations can enjoy them. So on behalf of the planet, on behalf of the state of California, and on behalf of State Senator Henry Stern, I want to present you with a certificate of recognition to thank you for your 17 years of service. Thank you.
Nice, thank you. Let's get a picture, friend.
That's right.
Okay, next I'm calling up Richard Sherman, president of the Calabasas Park Homeowners Association, and also the board members who are here.
I think we have almost a quorum for
Sure
CPHA.
do.
In honoring you, Mary Sue, the quote from the late Senator Robert Kennedy came to mind. Paraphrasing just a little, he said, "Some people see things as they are and say, why? Mary Sue, you dream of things that never were and say, why not?" With passion, determination, and laser focus, you took on challenges to make our city better. Your leadership was instrumental in so many areas, including enriching and protecting our environment, safeguarding our community against disasters, and advocating for seniors and especially those in need. We appreciate all you have accomplished and know that you will stay involved in serving the greater good. So we really appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much.
Oh, and we do have a little token of appreciation for you.
Let's see. Is it drinkable?
No.
Next, we have from the Environmental Commission, Chair J.C. Schillen and Beth Jagtiani, Commissioner.
Hi, Mary Sue.
Hi, JC.
We also brought with us Lux Hadley, who is our student commissioner for the Environmental Commission. And we just wanted an opportunity to say thank you very much for your enormous contribution to our city. But most of all, that you've always prioritized environmental issues and that you've supported programs that have made us a model city throughout this country. So we will miss you. I will miss you, and we thank you very much. And we got you a plaque.
Oh,
Another one.
I love that.
But again,
But it's
thank
from
you so much.
guys.
It's
Thank
from the
you.
commission. That's right.
Okay.
From the Calabasas Chamber of Commerce, we have Lisa Clayton, Mark Levinson, and Mike Bashai.
It's not difficult to follow all the other people who have so many nice things to say about our mayor, Mary Sue Maurer. But to repeat some, her undying dedication and drive for education is incredible. This past summer, I had the privilege of presenting a scholarship at AC Stealth and followed the mayor. And as you looked across the room and out into the field in front of us, and you saw all those students and all those children were receiving an excellent education, learning for the future, and we look over and Mary Sue is the driving force behind that school. So that, if nothing else, demonstrates her commitment to the community of education. But that's not her only contribution, as you know. It's sustainability, it's preservation of the environment, it's presenting a leadership for young people to follow. And that's, I would say, your input on this community that won't be forgotten for a long, long time. And it's a privilege of the Chamber of Commerce to present a certificate to you, not for what you've done alone, but for the input you've given to us and to everyone else in this room. And your efforts will go on and on and on, and we salute you for that.
Thank you, Mark. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's get a picture.
Here you go. Want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That's
Certificate of Recognition. In recognition of Mayor Mary Sue Maurer's 17-year tenure as a City of Calabasas council member and the longest serving woman on the Calabasas City Council. We thank you for the difference that you have made in our community and the support that you have provided to the Chamber over the years. On behalf of the Calabasas Chamber of Commerce and its Board of Directors, we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you. That's nice.
From the Calabasas Rotary Club, Sally Goya.
So, Mary Sue, the Rotary Club of Calabasas has been serving in the community since 1988, and you've been a very integral part of us. And I just want to say we're very grateful and very thankful for our partnership with the City Council and what we've been able to do together. But on behalf of the Rotary Club, I'm sorry, I get teary. On the behalf of the Rotary Club of Calabasas, I do have a special appreciation for you because you are a Rotarian of our club for the past 13 years. And I know even though you may be leaving the city, that you're still a Rotarian with us. So it's not goodbye. It's not good luck, because you're still in our heart as we continue on our journey. And thank you for everything that you've done to help us connect to the city and the needs here. Your passion for the youth, your passion for the environment has also sparked a real passion for us as well to plant ourselves in this community with your connections to do good in this city of Calabasas. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so we want to show you this. So we decided to go out and find something special for you. Oh, it's heavy. So here's
Whoa.
the base.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
That's our appreciation for you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I try and encourage people to join the Rotary Club. It is an extraordinary organization filled with people that give and care, and our linkage with this group, with the city, has done some remarkable work, and they also work overseas. And the number one program of the Rotary Club internationally is the eradication of polio. And that is what they've been doing for decades and decades and decades. And with help from the Bill Gates Foundation, they have almost eradicated it. So locally and globally, they do extraordinary work.
From the Calabasas Coalition, we have John and Joanne Sawara.
On behalf of the Calabasas Coalition, we want to give you this token of appreciation for your many years of service to the city. but we really want to say a big thank you for all you've done to protect the environment and make sure the quality of life for all of us here in Calabasas remains good. So, and I know you're going to be starting some great new adventures, and we wish you well. And I hope you'll still find time to get involved and stay involved in things in Calabasas, because it won't be the same without you, Mary Sue. So good luck, and know that you'll be missed.
Thank you. What have we got there? Oh, wow.
Keep track of time. You gotta be so busy.
To keep track of time.
Here's
Time on your hand.
here's some of our faithful.
All right.
All right, from the Greater Mulwood Homeowners Association, we have Ed Albrecht, President.
Oh, there he is. This is Ed.
My favorite mitt I gave to her.
Give it back.
How many people would do that? Put it on for me, would you?
I will. It says, whoops. Oh. It says Ed Albrecht and his old phone number, and then Mary Sue now.
Oh, I love it. It's great. So truth be told, I was looking on Facebook, and she was throwing pitches to her brother, and she was throwing it in the ground. And we were going to be at Dodger Stadium in about 3 weeks. I'm not going to have our mayor at that time throw a pitch off the mound in the ground. Now, I played Division I baseball, and I know that when you're on the mound, there's a drop-off and there's a release point. And if you don't practice off the mound, you're going to have problems. So we went out at least 4 or 5 times, Calabasas High School at the baseball field. I had about a dozen balls, and she was getting better and getting better. And what happened? I asked her to do one thing for me after she throws the pitch, and that was to look up at the third base and give me a little thumbs up. And she threw a strike. Threw a strike. It was the coolest moment.
You never returned the mitt either.
No, she earned it. So this is what I played with in college. So I'm running out of superlatives. I'm listening to what everybody has to say, and I'm speechless. The only thing I can say is really you are superlative in every single way. Another truth be told, years ago when I started paying attention to the city and got involved, we wanted to build a senior center. And I, for the first time, spoke in front of the city council. I think I was going to wet my pants. I've never spoken in front of a group that large. And I thought I did pretty good. And it was toward the end, and everybody breaks up. Now, we had about 200 people in front of the council chambers. They were lined up with seats in the lobby. The place was stacked. So my wife and I are leaving, and I'm pushing the doors to get out, and this hand hits me on the shoulder. And I'm saying, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I was just sitting. And I turn around, and it was Mary Sue. And you would ask me that at that moment, would you like to be on our task force for the senior center? And I was privileged to do that. And we worked together on that. We had a great task force, and what do we have to show for it? We're going to have refreshments afterwards. It's just a beautiful place and a tribute to many of the things that you've done. So we wanted to get you something special. Our board of directors, 2 of them have COVID. 1 just couldn't make it. So with regrets, they all wanted to be here. So we decided to get you a book, and we asked you what title you'd like to have. Of course, I said, I'm going to get it from, Prime, and they're not going to have it, and I'm going to have to fake it. But the book came in. It's one of her favorite books. I didn't autograph it. I didn't put anything in it. It's the way it came. I'd like you to endorse it, and this is the book that you'd like to have in our library. So that's for you. Water always wins.
So I just want to say something about this book that I asked him to buy. Water Always Wins. It's an easy to read, brilliant, eye-opening account of the way water is supposed to run and go in our world, and how humans have, for a variety of reasons, changed the track of the water. And it's creating its own set of problems. And she advocates that water, to the best of its ability, be returned to its natural ways. And we're doing that. When I talked about the City Green Street project, we are capturing water and letting it, go its own path. If you are not a big reader, or even if you are, I would encourage you to Google her name and just watch an interview with her. She's remarkable. Her name is Erica Gies, Gies. Water Always Wins, and I promise you'll learn so much from her about water, and it'll make you think twice about it.
The next presentation is from the Calabasas Savvy Seniors. So I'd like to invite up here Carol Davis, Carol Washburn, Laura Weishar, and Kathy Matson.
It was a dark and stormy night in February 2012 when the seniors gave a PowerPoint presentation to the Parks and Recreation Commission highlighting the fact that Calabasas needed a home for the successful but homeless Savvy Senior program. It was dark and stormy, not because of the hour, not because of the weather, but because we were told that though it was admirable that we could create a PowerPoint presentation, we had best come back in a year when we had a more detailed plan. We were abashed, saddened, and upset. That is until Mary Sue saw the replay on late night R-rated CTV and came to our rescue. She championed our cause with the city manager, and within 3 months, we had a task force with Mary Sue, our retiring mayor, and David Shapiro, our mayor pro tem, as mentors. On November 14th, 2012, just 9 months later, and you were wrong, it was only 146 seniors, stormed the Bastille of the city council chambers and gave speeches highlighting how much the program meant to them, how we needed a home away from home, and how maintaining our gray matter really mattered. One of the speakers described needing a place where we could nurture mind, body, and spirit in a familiar atmosphere where we'd be welcomed like Norm on Cheers. We urge the city to build it, and they will come. We challenge the council with a 5-year timeline, and Mary Sue promised from the dais that the challenge would be met. True to her word, she shepherded our cause, guided us through the entire building process, and just 4 years and 9 months later, in record time, it was built, and they happily came. Thank you, Mary Sue, for not only giving lip service to our request, but to also championing our cause and being the wind beneath our wings. Now I'd like to turn the podium over to our younger leaders, Laura Weishauer, Kathy Matson, and Carol Washburn, officers of our steering committee and on our advisory board.
Thank you, Carol. I think it was W.C. Fields who said you should never work with adorable children and puppies. And I think they could have added that you should never follow Carol Davis. Very nicely done. Mary Sue, your support of Carol Davis and Sue Somberg's vision to create a home for the Savvy Senior program was critical in getting the center to quickly move from a concept to reality. The Senior Center provides a place for hundreds of Calabasas residents and neighbors from surrounding communities to gather, plus participate in national award-winning activities and programs. Importantly, the building is an enduring legacy to your efforts for our community. We are truly thankful to you, and we have something for you. Kathy, would you?
Thank you, Laura. It is our pleasure to honor Mary Sue for her part in creating our Calabasas treasure, the Senior Center. In place of a certificate, we are honoring you with a unique remembrance, a beautiful photograph created by Carol Washburn. She is a leader in our group as well as a member of the photography club. Carol?
Mm-hmm. Mary Sue, I hope you'll enjoy this photograph as a symbol of our appreciation. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. What is it? Roses. Roses. Here's a wonderful envelope to go with. Later. Okay. Let's get a picture with this. Thank you. And the Senior Center is definitely a jewel in the city. And if it wasn't for these rowdy ones here, it wouldn't be there.
From the Los Angeles County Fire Department, we have Battalion Chief Michael McCormick.
A letter of appreciation for you, for your, Mary Sue, for your 17 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Calabasas.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And on behalf of the County Los Angeles Fire Department, we appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you. That's really nice. And I appreciate everything you do.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely.
Okay, I should note that we have plaques or certificates or some kind of awards from the following entities which were not able to make it tonight. U.S. Congressman Ted Lieu, the City of Westlake Village, the City of Agoura Hills, and a plaque from the City of Hidden Hills and a certificate from the Valley Economic Alliance are forthcoming. Took a long time for Hidden Hills to get it over here, I guess. It was a long way to go. Anyhow, at this time, if anybody would like to say something, now is the time before the council gives its presentation.
Oh! Who's this?
Hello, everybody. I just want to say what a special night this is to celebrate you, and behalf of all of our family here and everyone else who couldn't make it, of how proud we are of you. For the past 17 years, it's been pretty amazing to see firsthand how hard you work and how passionate you are of the projects you take on and the people that you work with. It's inspiring. And I also want to say that despite all of your professional accomplishments, which there are many, first and foremost to me, Martin and Derek, you've always been mom. And it's awesome to see how much you can accomplish and always be there for us too. So thank you.
Is Derek?
Wow, what an amazing mother. I remember when I was that tall, you got elected to mayor, right? No, yeah. City council for the first time. Mm-hmm. And then, you did a really good job.
That's it.
I love you, Mother.
Oh, I love you. Oh, that's so nice. My three sons were small, and at first I could control them and made them come to every event I went to. And then they got older and they became teenagers, and I had to bribe them, and they had to come to 2 events a month each. And then they really grew up and moved away.
Okay, Barry Hammond?
I've known her for 17 years. I just want to explain how I met her. I was elected on the board of my homeowners association, Vista Point. They were going to build a school right down the street from our houses that we opposed. And my assignment was to get to Mary Sue and get her vote against the school. Well, I didn't win her vote, but we became the best of friends. And you never, the adage is, you never know when where your new best friend is going to come from.
And Barry Hammond's daughter, Melissa Hammond, who is an attorney, has just been elected to the Superior Court as a judge.
Next, we have Tessa Charnovsky.
Hello, I am Tessa Charnovsky with Supervisor Sheila Kuehl's office. I do not have a scroll for you because it is Supervisor Kuehl's second to her last day in office. But I'm sure you've gotten many of them from us in the past, but I couldn't help. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to come because we're almost out the door, but I couldn't stay away. Mary Sue, I've known you for a long time. I think one of the things that I know everyone knows, but I don't think has been said, is how critical it is to have women in office at the local level who are such visionaries, who are brilliant, who are bold. And that is so appreciated. And I know that I have so many times, I'm like, who do I call in Calabasas? Mary Sue is mayor, thank goodness. I can call you, we can connect, we can get things done. I so appreciate you, and I know that Supervisor Kuehl does as well. And you're going to do a wonderful job, as I know my boss will too, in retirement. I'm sure you'll be plenty busy. Yeah.
Thank you, Tess. That's nice. Thank you for saying those kind words.
And John Mueller from the Planning Commission.
Yeah, good evening. My name is John Mueller, and notwithstanding our name, the Planning Commission, we have nothing prepared. We have no plaque, no certificate.
Some planners.
Some planners. I actually am. I'm Mary Sue's appointee to the Planning Commission, I think, for at least 15 years. And I want to thank her for all those years of appointments. It's just not true that we on the Planning Commission do really all the hard work and the council just passes stuff, but that is a rumor, but I wanted to spell that tonight. A lot of people wonder why Mary Sue is retiring at such a young age, so beautiful and vibrant, and there really are only two words: pickleball. You may have noticed that I walked up here a little gingerly, and that's because 2.5 months ago I got a new knee thanks to playing pickleball with Mary Sue. She is extraordinarily tenacious, a great competitor, and she realized that she would just have too great a conflict of interest to stay on the council while she is going to appear before the council ad infinitum, ad nauseum, to promote more pickleball in Calabasas and our surrounding communities. So I just wanted to thank her.
Oh, thank you.
So at this time, I'd like to invite my colleagues on the City Council, David Shapiro, Peter Kraut, and Alicia Weintraub. We have a little presentation for you. So Mary Sue told us that from us, she did not want a plaque.
That's not true.
We have a couple things for her, actually. So our Mayor Pro Tem is bringing up a beautiful, in keeping with tonight's theme, a beautiful potted plant, succulent arrangement. This is an engraved thing. You can see it later. It's got our city symbol on it, and it's got some nice words about Mary Sue. Actually,
and all the years I got elected, all the way around.
why doesn't somebody read it so we can?
In recognition of your outstanding service for the City of Calabasas Council Member 2005 to 2022, Mayor 2008-9, 2012-2013, 2016-2017, 21 to present. presented by the City of Calabasas, December 1, 2022. You guys, that's really nice.
We also have this for you, which is what we give to our departing council members. This is a lifetime membership, gold membership card to the Calabasas Tennis and Swim Center.
Wow. Pickleball.
I have served with Mary Sue for almost 18 years on the city council. We've overlapped. And I remember when I first met her was through her middle school involvement, getting a new middle school here, which eventually became A.C. Stell Middle School. That was when I was mayor in 1998-99. And I thought, what a great community activist. And we put her on the Education Commission, as Dennis mentioned. He appointed her, and we've been friends ever since. Now, it's not like, for those of you who know us, have somewhat different personalities, different political philosophies, and don't always agree on the issues, to put it mildly. But as far as municipal government, we've gotten along very well, and it's a great example. I wish our national leaders would have this example, and our state leaders, that you don't always have to agree on every little thing, to be cordial to each other and to work for the betterment of the community. And she has done all of that, and I am going to miss her tremendously.
Yeah,
Mary Sue, it's just been a wonderful time serving with you. It's very sad for me tonight.
I, too, have to say a few brief remarks. Mary Sue, so many people have said so many great things about your accomplishments tonight, and I can't just stand here and reiterate them, so I want to go back to an old memory. First, if there's any council or commissioners here that have ever walked into a room in the city of Calabasas and felt like nobody knows you. I remember in 2008, I had an at-large appointment, and I went to a city function, and I felt like nobody. There were so many important people in that room. And I just kept coming back and being of service. And I didn't feel at home. And somewhere about 10 years ago, I walked into one of these events, and Mary Sue knew my name. And I want to say thank you for that.
Oh.
Because if any of you can relate, that first time when suddenly you feel like, wow, maybe I'm doing a little something, if one of the council members knows who I am, And I kept on that road, and eventually I ended up standing up here with you. And like James has mentioned, we often engage in spirited debate, and for that I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Because although we don't always see things from the same lens, I know that you're always looking to protect the city of Calabasas and always have our best interest at heart. And I heard you tonight. Water always wins. I'm going to read that book so that I can see where you're coming from, and we're going to find middle ground.
Great. Great. Thank you.
Where to start? It's a kind of a joke between Mary Sue and myself, because we sometimes come at issues from completely different sides. And I'm sitting up on the dais thinking, wait, I actually really agree with her. I really agree with her. And you've made me a better council member working with you and making me justify my opinions and why I think this way. And we've really worked on some amazing projects together, from community engagement, I don't know, so many others, but you do a really good job as a council member. You've also shown me that you can be a council member and a mother, and it's okay to put your family first when necessary, and I'm going to miss you. I've thought about the ways that I can continue working on things that were important to you, because you filled that void, We could always pick up different pieces because you were always going to be working on certain things, and I know we'll continue to do that work because it's so important to the community. So you can rest easy for that. But I just wanted to say thank you. And even when we debate so passionately, it's just good debate, and deep down, I know we really care and admire for each other. So thank you again for everything.
I just want to say, those who don't know, 17 years is unbelievable. It's not quite dog years, but being on council each year takes a toll that you cannot imagine. To do this for 17 years and the way you've done it and leaving on the highest level is incredible. It's been an honor and privilege for me to work with you on many things we agree on. We actually have the same views on, and you're out front. You're much more vocal on some things than I am, but I am very supportive. And we talked about, actually, Carol and others talked about the Senior Center and what you did and what you accomplished. Thank you for allowing me to go along the ride with you on that. I appreciate that. And as far as sustainability goes, everybody has said wonderful things, and our council unanimously passed the Climate Action Plan initiative, and we're going to move forward with it. But if it wasn't for you, there would not be, I do not believe, the forward thinking that we're going to be having and going forward in the future for future generations with regard to sustainability, our environment, everything you have worked on and shown leadership in. And I tremendously will miss you and your voice. And I wish you only the best, but you're not going anywhere. You're going to be around. You're going to be you're supporting things and encouraging us, whether it's locally or from a distance. Thank you, and thank you.
That was really wonderful. Looking across this room was wonderful. I have stories with each and every one of you, and I'll take them with me and just reflect. One thing that wasn't said that I'm going to close out on, I am a public servant. I've devoted my career, for the most part, to serving the people of California, the city of Calabasas, and I'm well aware of how sometimes in the work setting as a government employee, you can be invisible, not as an elected official, as an employee. And I just want to make sure that everybody here understands that what I accomplished and what my colleagues have accomplished and the city manager is because of the staff that's behind the elected officials, the government workers. And with that, I'm going to end tonight by asking you to do something for me. I'm going to call out the names of just a fraction of the staff that actually brought me up here today in the past couple weeks. And it's a sample of what they do and what they can do. And I'm going to ask you, as tempting as it might be, to leave the floral arrangements on the table for the following staff who have been working round the clock on this event. And they are Annie Credillion, Mari Hernandez, Yadira Zimmerman, hair, Ana Luz Mendoza, and much more, Michael Russo, Arvin Petros, Carlo Gorgon, Jason Muir, Bob Burris, Tony Yin, and Ryan Pasilio. On behalf of how I feel about all the staff, the department heads and everyone that was here, thank you very much for 17 wonderful years. And this is just a small way I can pay back to those that are working today. So thank you, and thank you all.